Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to our first of the literacy lessons for our Ancient Mayans non-chronological report. Today we are going to focus on writing an introduction. Okay, so the first thing that you will need will be your Ancient Mayans research booklet, although you don't need to read through everything just yet, you only need 2 facts from this. And you'll need our structure strip like this, so this I gave you on Monday, and our structure strip is what we want to do first. So this is more or less the structure I want to see your introductions as. So it should start with a rhetorical question. It should tell me when the Mayans were around, when they were around, who they were, whereabouts the Mayans were. You can see I've given you some examples there, but I'm sure you'll have more information in here. What pretty much just describes what they did, where they lived, things like that. And then a couple of did you know facts, and finally finishing off with a sentence explaining the reader what they're going to read in this non-chronological report. So the first thing that you need to do is just find 2 did you know facts for the did you know questions later on, and then just have a quick read about when the Mayans were around and have a think about what you're going to say for these. So I'll pause the video and give you a chance to do that, and then I'll show you my introduction that I've already written. Right, okay then, so on to my introduction. I've put the structure strip next to it here, and I'm going to do a little bit of nice highlighting for you all. So I got a little bit carried away when I was writing this, I won't lie. Now, I don't expect you to write something like this, but it should give you a little bit of an insight into what I've written as a rhetorical question starter. As you can see, it's more than one, and it's more like a rhetorical statement. Now, before you start, you need a heading. So for your non-chronological report, I just went with the Ancient Mayans, but if you want to jazz it up, you're more than welcome to. So my introduction starts like this. When you think of the ancient Mayans, you might think of a small tribe of primitive warriors ruled by a man in a funny feather hat, living in huts in the rainforest. Would you have ever thought of Mayan cities having populations of 500,000 peoples and vast stone pyramids and grand palaces at their centres? Probably not. Well, believe it or not, they really did. Okay, so I've kind of introduced this with what I would call is like a misconception about what people would think of Mayans, and that is that they were just a tribe of people living in the rainforest, so they weren't very advanced. And obviously we know that that's the opposite, so I've started that off there. I've also started it with a subordinate conjunction as well, so when you think of the ancient Mayans as the example there. So this is my rhetorical question here, and got a little one there as well. Now, if you want to start yours off in that way, you absolutely can do. It is entirely up to you, though. Okay, so now I'm going to go to when. I'm going to do that in green. So I've kind of, and I'm going to just do where as well, because I'll show you how. So I've started on the continent of North America. So start with a fronted adverbial here, just explaining where in terms of continent. Now, it doesn't actually go into countries like I've put here, Mexico, Belize and Honduras. And then I've split it into from 250 CE to 900 CE. So that's my where then. And now in orange, I'm going to do the Mayans. So I've said where in terms of the grand scheme of things, when, and now I'm saying who. The Mayan civilization thrived in the rainforest. Oh my God, look at that, that's terrible. Thrived in the rainforest regions, and now I'm going to skip back to green, of modern day Mexico, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. So you can kind of see there between green, orange, and red, they are very, very mishmashed together. So on your structure strip, it looks like they're going to be 3 different sentences. Well, actually, it's more cohesive, our writing, if they're written as a sentence, one sentence altogether. Now, I'm going to change again. We'll go with a nice sky blue. I'm going to go, oh my God, didn't press the highlighter button. And I'm going to go with the sky blue here for what. So the Mayan civilization gave us many wonderful things that we still use today. Okay, so it's just a very simple explanation of the Mayan civilization as we understand it. So it doesn't have to be a fact as such that you would get from your research booklets. Now the next bit is our Did You Know, which I'm going to just highlight in this lovely pink colour. And what you need is, you do need 2 facts now. Now I've just gone with very general facts. I haven't gone with facts from about Pocketok, because we're writing about that later. I also haven't gone with facts about religion as such. I've just kind of used a few little extra facts about the writing system and the first calendars. So my first one is, did you know that the Mayans invented the first calendars? And then I've gone on further to explain that, which is what I like to see some of you do for each question. They also had a fantastic understanding of the stars and astrology. My second rhetorical question comes here. Did you know that they also invented their own writing system of hieroglyphics? Okay. Now the next part is this section here where it says in this non-chronological report. So I'm going to change this to blue. Excuse my slowness with this. Now I've just introduced this as a separate paragraph, which might be a good idea for you to remember as well. As the Mayans is a vast civilization to write about, this non-chronological report will inform you about the following. And then I've just done a little bullet point list. Don't forget my colon, look, there it is. About what 3 sections we're going to write about. And that's what I'd like you to do as well, Year 6. Okay, so just give me a bullet point list, and then in brackets I've just said, given a little bit of extra information. So, Mayan society, who was at the top, what their buildings were like, and how they fed their huge populations. Now, whatever I put here, I would then have to write about in that section. So this proves just as a nice little addition to what we're going to write later. Okay? Right, so that is my introduction. Now, I'm very well aware that you have a very good example in front of you, so please have a go at writing your own. If there's any parts, like for example this part, if you really like the idea, try and, you can take my idea, but try and make it your own. Okay, I know it's very easy to look at something like this and just copy it, but try and make it your own writing. Okay, right, thank you Year 6, looking forward to reading them. Goodbye.